How to make a 6-liter reliable. Start with an 06 6-liter here. That's the later one. So we're going to have oil rails on top of our injectors in the later one. We're going to have the cast iron high pressure oil pump. These are way better and this never fail. So that's a upside there. But then under these, you'll have the SCT fitting in the back. You have to replace that with an upgraded one. If you got the engine pulled, do it once. Do head gaskets, do studs by either OEM Ford head gaskets or by Felpro head gaskets. Huey injectors. Now the 6-liter injector is not as bad as a Duramax injector, that's for sure, but still nowhere near as reliable as the 7.3 Huey injector. These injectors are going to most of the time be the cause for cold no start issues, haziness, misses, rough running of injectors in 100,000 K. Probably a good idea just to put a set of rebuilt injectors in. If you're lucky enough to get an 03 or 04 6-liter there, you're going to have this high pressure oil pump that's got the aluminum case. These are reliable for about 100,000 kilometers. So if it still has the stock one and it's got miles on it, you're going to want to probably replace that or just expect to replace it soon, right? So get a good name brand one. You get a reliable 100,000 K out of it. On the earlier ones, they'll have this high pressure oil pump cover that has the ICP sensor at the back. If it hasn't been done, you'll want to do that guy and you want to pull out your IPR valve, take a look at that, do the screen on there and do the O-rings. Oil cooler, these oil pressure sensors, I've replaced so many of those 6-liters. They just like killing their oil pressure sensors. Don't know why. If you replace that, get a Ford OEM oil pressure sensor. They will crack and leak oil. Not hard to replace. Otherwise, oil cooler there. If it's been same thing, 100,000 K and it hasn't had an oil cooler, replace it, get a Ford OEM one or a good aftermarket one with the O-ring kits and all that, because when these fail, they will go out with no warning. So oil cooler, very important. One of the biggest causes with the 04.5 and later hot no start issues or just crank no start, high pressure oil leak. Basically these standpipes and dummy plugs, they have O-rings on them, they split, fall apart. Do not buy aftermarket. Use Ford OEM only for these standpipes with all the O-rings. Same thing if they haven't been done in 100,000 K, just replace them with the upgraded Ford ones. It's a lot cheaper than a tow bill. Everyone has to love these VGT turbos. They don't have boost leg the way frickin' the 7.3s do. Absolutely love these, but they do seize up. They kind of get soot build up in them. So if you can pull these apart and clean up the veins, you should do that once you get a 6-liter, right? If you're just kind of going through everything. You kind of got to clean them. Same thing every 100,000 K or so. EGR cooler right there. You get rid of that stuff immediately. EGR delete, get rid of that. The later 6-liters have their ICP sensor on the rocker cover here. So if you have an issue with this, obviously you can unplug it to get home and they're easy to replace. So, if you just have a spare one, you're fine. Glow plugs, common if you're, over 100,000 K on a motor, it's going to need a glow plug or two. Always a good idea. Just do the whole set of glow plugs. And then you can do, when you're planning on doing it, get the harnesses, because these plastic harnesses a lot of the time break apart when you go to replace your glow plugs. So if you can just put new harnesses on them at the same time while you do the glow plugs, makes it a lot easier of a job. People love to talk about like FICM issues with 6-liters, but as long as you buy new batteries every few years and make sure you can keep your voltage up, you don't commonly kill an FICM. But for reliability, have a spare under the seat. But really just having new batteries saves. Again, another one there, you got your turbo drain, sits in here. If you're having engine oil leaks in the valley, those seals for the turbo drain, a lot of the time that's a problem. They're pretty easy to replace. And honestly, once you do all those things, you're basically set. You'll probably have a good reliable truck for 10 years or so.